We all chase it, we all want it, yet sometimes it feels like happiness is a random, fleeting status stroke of luck that only happens when everything in your life is perfect. We often mistakenly believe that lasting joy is waiting for us just on the other side of a major promotion, a new relationship, or a bigger bank account. The truth is that external chase is a perpetual treadmill, always keeping the goal just out of reach. If you are waiting for perfect circumstances to finally feel happy, you will be waiting forever. Genuine, lasting happiness isn't something you find. It's something you actively build using proven psychological and neuroscientific principles. It is a highly trainable skill, not a random reward or a stroke of genetic luck. In this deep dive episode on KB Bluetree, we're breaking down the actual science of sustainable joy. We'll show you the exact daily practices that rewire your brain's default settings for contentment. Stop chasing the feeling and start generating it yourself from the inside out. Welcome back to KB Bluetree, your essential resource for the tools you need to master your mental landscape and design a more joyful life. Today we're talking about happiness, but we're moving past the cliches and focusing exclusively on the concrete research. Scientists have identified that up to 50% of your happiness is determined by genetics, your baseline temperament, and only about 10% is determined by life circumstances like wealth or status. This leaves a massive 40% of your happiness level entirely within your control. It's driven by your intentional actions, thoughts, and daily attitudes. That 40% is where the real, transformative work happens, and that's exactly where we focus our energy here. We're dealing with the practical, actionable levers you can pull every single day to lift your emotional baseline. The research clearly shows that experiences like gratitude, meaningful connection, and states of deep flow produce measurable, lasting changes in your brain chemistry. When you consistently practice these scientifically backed habits, you increase the density of gray matter in areas of your brain associated with empathy, emotional regulation, and satisfaction. You effectively build a stronger, more resilient happiness muscle that helps you weather stress. The key takeaway here is that frequency is more important than intensity. A small, daily habit of gratitude is far more effective for your brain health than a massive one-time spending spree or a luxury vacation. Before we reveal the 3 powerful pillars of sustainable joy, please take a moment to hit the like and subscribe to KB Bluetree for more insightful content. We are committed to helping you implement these science-based strategies for a truly optimized and joyous life. Let's dive into the 3 biggest scientific pillars that will change how you approach joy forever. The 3 pillars of sustainable joy. Sustainable happiness isn't passive. It's the result of actively engaging with the world in a way that aligns with your brain's hardwired reward centers. These 3 pillars represent the most potent, research-backed ways to increase your baseline contentment and resilience. Pillar 1. The power of intentional gratitude. Gratitude is far more than just saying thank you. It is a conscious cognitive shift that completely reframes your perspective. Decades of studies show that when you regularly practice gratitude, you experience increased feelings of optimism and decreased levels of the stress hormone cortisol. This is because gratitude forces your brain to focus its attention on abundance rather than fixating on scarcity or threat. The key to unlocking this power is making the practice specific and highly consistent. Instead of vaguely being thankful for everything, researchers strongly suggest keeping a gratitude journal where you list 3 to 5 specific things you're grateful for each day. For example, instead of writing, "I'm thankful for my job," write, "I'm thankful my colleague helped me solve that complex coding bug this afternoon because that act of teamwork instantly saved me 2 hours of stress." This level of detail makes the feeling tangible and emotionally impactful. This consistent focus on the positive literally changes the neural pathways in your brain over time, effectively training it to automatically look for the good in every situation. It shifts your mental default from scanning the horizon for potential threats to appreciating what you currently have. This pillar is foundational because it fundamentally alters the lens through which you view your entire life and experience reality. It's Pillar 2, meaning and flow states. The second pillar focuses on engaging in activities that provide meaning and induce a state of flow. Flow is that deeply immersive feeling where you are completely absorbed in a challenging activity. You lose track of time, and the self-critical voice temporarily disappears. Flow often happens when a high level of skill meets a high level of challenge, such as playing a musical instrument, solving a complex coding problem, or engaging in a physical activity like intense running or rock climbing. The activity itself is the intrinsic reward, entirely separate from any external goal, praise, or outcome. Furthermore, the pursuit of meaning is also a critical component. This involves connecting to something larger than yourself, often through service, volunteering, community work, or a clear, purpose-driven job. When you contribute to something bigger than your own immediate needs, your brain registers a deep evolutionary sense of value and belonging. This sense of purpose acts as a crucial psychological buffer against life's inevitable stressors and disappointments. Identifying and actively scheduling regular time for both your flow activities and your meaning activities is absolutely essential for long-term emotional well-being and life satisfaction. Pillar 3. Nurturing social connection. The third pillar is backed by the most compelling data in all of psychology. Humans are fundamentally social creatures, and the quality of your relationships is the single biggest predictor of health, longevity, and happiness across the entire lifespan. This is not anecdotal. Decades of data from the Harvard study of adult development confirm that close, warm relationships are what keep people happy, healthy, and emotionally resilient deep into their 90s. Strong social connections buffer us against the slings and arrows of life. The key here, again, is quality over quantity. It's not about having thousands of social media followers. It's about having a few truly deep, vulnerable, and supportive relationships where you can be your authentic self. This requires intentional effort, such as calling a friend just to check in without an agenda, truly listening without interrupting, and making time for focused face-to-face interactions. When you invest time and empathy in these connections, your body releases oxytocin, the bonding hormone which naturally counters the negative effects of stress and fosters feelings of security and warmth. Furthermore, practicing acts of kindness within those relationships and even with strangers is a reliable happiness booster. Doing something generous or helpful for someone else triggers the reward centers of your own brain, creating what researchers call a helper's high. This selfless act deepens the bond with others and elevates your own mood simultaneously, making connection a dual benefit activity. Actionable science, 3 techniques. Implementing these 3 pillars requires simple, specific practices that you can easily integrate into your routine. Here are 3 powerful techniques from the science of happiness that you can start using today to build your joy baseline. First, practice the counterintuitive mental subtraction exercise. Once a week, spend a few minutes simply imagining that a major positive element of your life, your partner, your home, or your good health has suddenly been taken away from you. Then, imagine it being fully restored. This practice prevents hedonic adaptation, the natural tendency to take good things for granted, and instantly boosts gratitude and deep appreciation for what you currently have, bringing hidden blessings into sharp focus. Second, engage in savoring. This means intentionally slowing down and focusing all your attention on a pleasant sensory experience to amplify and prolong the joy. When you eat a delicious meal, don't rush. Close your eyes for a moment, focus intensely on the taste, texture, and smell before taking the next bite. When you walk through a park, stop for 30 seconds and deliberately notice the sound of the wind, the colors of the light, and the warmth of the sun. Savoring increases the intensity and the duration of your positive emotions. Third, establish a mind-body bridge through intentional, rhythmic movement. Happiness isn't purely mental, it's deeply physical. Commit to engaging in 30 minutes of rhythmic, aerobic exercise, walking, cycling, or dancing, at least 3 times a week. This structured movement has been scientifically shown to be as effective as some antidepressants for mild to moderate depression, providing a guaranteed chemical shortcut to an improved mood and reduced anxiety. Success story, Tina V. Tina V came to the KB Bluetree community feeling profoundly stuck. She had a stable, financially secure job and a good life, but she felt a nagging, persistent sense of emptiness. It was completely missing the vital 40% she controlled. Critically, her leisure time was passive, spent scrolling mindlessly through social media, which only amplified her feelings of comparison and isolation. Tina decided to focus on Pillar 1, intentional gratitude, as her starting point. Every night, she dedicated 5 minutes to her gratitude journal, forcing herself to name specific, small moments of grace and connection from her day. Then, she tackled Pillar 2 by enrolling in a local pottery class, a complex manual skill that instantly put her into a deep state of flow and purpose. The transformation was profound and visible. Within 8 weeks, Tina reported that she no longer felt the constant pull of social media comparison because her focus had shifted from external validation to internal fulfillment. The most significant change was a massive drop in her anxiety levels and a newfound patience and presence with her family. Tina proved that happiness isn't a passive feeling you wait for, but a rewarding, stable state you cultivate daily through small, intentional acts of gratitude, engaging effort, and meaningful connection. Call to action. You now have the scientific blueprint for building sustainable joy. You know that 40% of your happiness is waiting for you to take active control. Don't let another day pass by waiting for circumstances to miraculously change. Choose one of the powerful techniques we discussed today while you start the gratitude journal tonight. Commit to savoring your next meal, or schedule 30 minutes of rhythmic movement. The key is commitment to action. Hit that like button right now if you are ready to take full responsibility for generating your own joy. Share this video with a friend or colleague who is stuck on the happiness treadmill. And remember to like and subscribe to KB Blue Tree for more insightful content that empowers you to master the science of a fulfilled life.